Hi all, this is a video response to um, Amelia's video response to Tanya. And I did write a couple comments, but I wanted to actually do something verbal. Um, with people who don't know my background, I am actually a professor of psychology, and I am a counselor, by trade. And I've worked with people with addictions, which is really ironic since I can't get my own addiction under control, but um, such is life, and we're all human, and I cannot be too completely hard on myself because of that. Um, However, the reason for this is in response to kind of explain maybe what I had written so people might be able to more fully understand what is going on with them psychologically and developmentally. When you have, especially if you've been overweight all your own life, when we grow up and we learn how to navigate the world around us in the body that we are. And we have these things, they're called schemas, and they're scripts of life, basically. And we write these scripts of life and how we're supposed to behave and how we're supposed to act and navigate the world based on our experiences, which would include, how society looks at us. It includes what kind of positive reinforcement we had to increase that behavior, what kind of punishment we had to decrease that kind of behavior. Um, and most of us are full-grown adults, and we've had a long time to write our script of life and how we navigate the world. Well, when you have the weight loss surgery, within a year or two, depending on how much you have to lose and what kind you have, and there's all those factors, you have basically become a different person, um, not necessarily personality-wise. However, you may not know how to navigate life as a normal um, sized person. People look at you differently. People treat you differently. And if you don't already have that experience, um, then you may not react as fluidly as maybe someone who's been normal all their lives. Um, and it's very unfortunate that people don't realize this. You don't um, make fun of someone who is a teenager with getting their very first attention from uh, people that they're opposite or same sex depending on their sexual orientation. You don't uh, you don't you just don't come down on them for giggling and it being so new and it being exciting. you know I just don't understand why people don't get that your mind has to catch up to your body, and you're going to do things that maybe uh, you wouldn't expect a full-grown woman or man to do. You may act a little different, but once you figure out how you fit into the world as a normal-sized person, it'll all be fine. And for the people that are telling, oh, your personality's changing, you're just not the same. No, you're not the same. Your core is probably the same. However, you're getting treated very differently than when you were heavy. You have people who are looking at you maybe in a way that is very flattering. You don't have people staring at you and maybe making comments that you can't hear and are hurtful. You can go into any store and pick up you know, any kind of clothing you want. You don't have your family looking at you like, oh, she's going to put another bite in her mouth. You don't have these these things going on. It's almost like it's okay to discriminate against a fat person, but it's not okay to say these things to anyone else with any other kind of illness or addiction. Um, and I know that my clients that are drug addicts and alcoholics may disagree with me on this, but we have the only addiction where it is you cannot stop eating. You cannot stay away from eating. Um, you know, People that are addicted, one of the things we tell them to do is just stay away from where you had your addiction. Like if there was a crack addict, you tell them not to go down to that neighborhood. Don't hang out with your friends. But with food, it's not like you can avoid it. Um, it's on TV. It's ingrained in our culture. It's ingrained in society. And yet, we are the only segment of the population where it's just really acceptable to make fun of us and not see us for the addiction that we have. And then when we do overcome it in some way and we become quote normal, uh, people act like we should know how to act, and that's not necessarily true. We don't have that script written yet. We don't know how to handle. Maybe we don't know how to handle people hitting on us in the grocery store. Instead of looking at our basket going, "Oh, does she really need to be eating that?" Um, so keep that in mind, and people just need to be very kind to each other. Um, and hopefully this kind of clears some stuff up. You just have to give yourself time for your mind and your body to um, catch up to each other. You have to allow people to kind of figure out where their place in the world is. You have to allow them to experience being normal and not having people discriminate against them. You have to allow them to have the joy of not having people um, be covertly and overtly mean. And I think we're doing people a disservice if we don't allow other people to be vain. Say, "Oh, I'm looking good today." Well, baby, you probably are. But it's okay to say that. Um, it's okay to be amazed at how good you look now and be amazed at how differently you're being treated. Once you're out for a while, the amazement's going to wear off and you're going to know how to navigate the world. But don't take that joy away from the people who are succeeding and have succeeded. Um, that's not what this community is for. Um, and I enjoy the support that this community gives me, and I would absolutely hate to see um, people sucking the joy of success out of this. We need all the success we can get. We need all the support we can get. And hopefully uh, people will respond positively to each other. We're here to help, not